never speak. They never plead. They never explain. Yet we know their names: Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. Two killers who haunt our nightmares not with words but with silence. But here's the real question. Why are they silent? Is it the mask, the trauma, or something deeper? Something that reveals what truly separates these two icons of horror. Tonight, we break down the chilling truth behind Jason versus Michael, the silence of two monsters, what it really means. Michael Myers is silence, the voice of evil itself. Let's start with Michael Myers, the shape, the blank mask of death from Halloween. Michael doesn't talk because there's nothing inside him to talk with. He's not human in the emotional sense. He's a manifestation of pure evil. Director John Carpenter described him as the boogeyman, a faceless entity representing the inevitability of death. Every time he stands still, every time he tilts his head, he's studying his prey like an animal might a sound. He doesn't taunt, reason, or even gloat. Why? Because there's no personality, no remorse, just a void wearing skin. When Dr. Loomis said, "I met this 6-year-old child with the blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes," he was defining Michael's silence as the absence of humanity itself. Psychological view. Michael's muteness signals psychopathy at the supernatural level. He's emotionless, unaffected, and beyond moral understanding. His silence is the silence of a storm before destruction. Terrifying because it's calm. Jason Voorhees' silence, the sound of trauma. Jason Voorhees, on the other hand, isn't a symbol of evil. He's a product of cruelty. As a deformed child bullied at Camp Crystal Lake, Jason drowned because counselors weren't watching. That death, and his mother's rage, set off a chain reaction that created one of horror's most tragic monsters. Jason's silence isn't born from evil. It's born from pain. He doesn't speak because he never learned how to process what happened. His world ended when he was a boy. The moment he drowned, he became a ghost of grief. Psychological view. Jason's silence mirrors post-traumatic mutism, a psychological response where extreme trauma shuts down verbal expression. When he kills, it's not to terrorize. It's to reclaim power he lost as a helpless child. He's not silent because he's soulless. He's silent because he's broken. Two masks, two meanings. Both killers hide behind masks, but the meaning behind those masks couldn't be more different. For Michael, the mask erases identity. He becomes an empty vessel, the shape, not a man, but death personified. His mask is a statement. You can't kill what isn't alive. For Jason, the mask creates identity. Before the hockey mask, he was a disfigured outcast. Once he put it on, he became Jason Voorhees, the unstoppable avenger. His mask hides his deformity and his pain. Symbolically, Michael's mask represents erasure. Jason's mask represents armor. One hides emptiness, the other hides suffering. Motivation: evil versus grief. Michael Myers kills because he's evil incarnate. There's no reason, no trauma, no logic. His silence screams one message: there is no why. Jason Voorhees kills because of grief and revenge. His muteness isn't indifference, it's fixation. Every strike of his machete is a distorted echo of his mother's voice. They let you drown, Jason. They all deserve to die. In short, Michael is silence as emptiness. Jason is silence as grief. One kills to prove evil exists. The other kills because no one cared. The filmmaker's intent. John Carpenter created Michael Myers as a philosophical symbol, a faceless embodiment of fate and mortality. His silence was designed to strip away humanity entirely. Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller, however, created Jason as a tragic legend, a child turned monster. His silence was meant to make you feel pity, even as you're terrified. Behind the camera, Carpenter said, "The more you explain evil, the less scary it becomes." Cunningham said, "Jason is a boy who never had a chance. So when Michael is silent, he's mystery itself. When Jason is silent, he's pain personified." The psychological divide. Let's get clinical for a second. If you put them in psychological terms, Michael Myers is a psychopath, emotionless, detached, deliberate. Jason Voorhees is a traumatized revenant, impulsive, reactive, emotionally stunted. Michael's silence shows a lack of emotion. Jason's silence shows too much emotion that's been buried alive. They mirror two kinds of fear in us: the fear of the cold, inhuman killer we can't reason with, the fear of the broken soul who lashes out because of what we did to them. The ultimate meaning: silence speaks louder than words. In the end, both men remind us that silence can be more terrifying than screams. Michael's quiet says, "Evil doesn't need to explain itself." Jason's quiet says, "You made me this way." That's why their silence works so powerfully. It reflects two sides of horror itself: the horror of the unnatural and the horror of the tragically human. When Michael stares into your eyes, you see the void. When Jason stares into your eyes, you see your guilt. And that's why they will never speak. Because their silence tells us more about ourselves than any words ever could. So tell me, whose silence do you fear more? The emptiness of Michael Myers, or the pain of Jason Voorhees? Drop your answer in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep horror breakdowns, where we dig past the screams and straight into the darkness.